Greetings and salutations, my fellow earthlings, my fellow travelers on this planet Earth, my fellow drummer friends and students. I got a scratchy voice still from that flu or whatever that went around. I'm out at one of my parks, so you hear a lot of noise. That's what it is. People deciding to race their cars. I guess now there's no laws in the land, so they're racing their cars all the time with no mufflers on. It sounds like the racetrack. Hey, I was just having fun out here, being a little kid, being a little child of God. And I was learning about, well, relearning. I think we're always relearning. I've been playing since I was 8 years old, and 1968, that's a long time ago. Anyway, just watching my hands and feeling my hands, feeling the energy off the drum in my hands, and being real sensitive to that feeling. And this is called playing in unison or simultaneous playing. Some people call it playing together. So sometimes you see TOG. And what it's learning to do is feel the same amount of energy on your right and left sticks, so that you feel that your hands are doing the same things. You can even look in a mirror, but I kind of watch my hands when I don't have a mirror. I'll pretend this phone is a mirror, but see how I'm letting it rebound right back to the same point. So when I'm playing, sometimes I'm just keeping it right against the pad here, not squeezing it to where it doesn't move, but it just kind of bounces off that pad, the pad of my hand. Just kind of bounces off that. So I'm not letting my fingers move very much at all. And other times I let my fingers really move, the stick rebound. I just want to feel different aspects of my playing, so that my right and my left look and feel the same. So I'm looking to see if my wrists are straight or if they're bent. They should be straight. There should be a straight line between the two knuckles here. Straight up your wrist, your arm should be absolutely straight. Shouldn't be any bend. So your hand shouldn't be bent this way. It shouldn't be bent this way. It should be perfectly like this. Now, I learned that from martial arts, that if you don't hit between the front two knuckles, if you don't hit your surface right there with those two knuckles, you can break your wrist. I almost broke my wrist because I had my hand cocked a little bit and I didn't hit it square on. And when you're breaking bricks and breaking boards, you can break your wrist real easy if you don't have this straight line. So I'm looking for that straight line, and I'm also looking for this straight line. My arm needs to be flat like a concert pianist. If I'm like this, or I'm like this, I'm not floating. I'm not floating on the surface. See, this is floating on the surface. See, my arm is flat, and now my wrist is able to float. I'm able to wobble, right? I'm able to wobble. See, my whole arm is kind of wobbling. It's very loose. That's how you go fast. You don't go fast by straining. You go fast by learning how to gradually go further and further out on the envelope without any strain, any tension. If you tense up while you're playing. So I'm practicing this against my palm. No use of this. I'm not doing any of this yet. I just want to feel the stick hit this pad. I want to feel this stick hit this pad. Feel it hit. And it should look the same on like 1 inch showing on both sides, so that your sticks are in the letter A. And they should be coming up to the same height. If you're doing this correct, whatever height it is, it should be the same height, and they should almost cancel each other out. So it's not a flam. So you should feel almost a canceling. Each stick is hitting exactly the same time. Now I'm going to get rid of some of this tick, 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 so it's tighter. So you see this, and I'm really relaxed. And as you speed up and slow down, both hands need to work exactly together. This really helps you with single strokes. So I'm practicing twos, ones, twos, threes, fours, fives. They call that a duplet, a triplet, a quadruplet, or a quad, pentuplets. So I accent the first stroke. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now this gives you what's called a Moeller technique. And without using the arms, I'm lifting it up, coming down. It's kind of a Moeller technique. But I'm not doing this whole wave thing yet. I'm just learning how to do groups of notes, accented, non-accent notes, so you can get used to playing them simultaneous at different levels. You see? See, it's level, right? And this balances your body out. So I'm doing Moeller 2, 3, 4, 5, and I like to mix them together. Sometimes I put spaces between them. But sometimes I get rid of the space. Have fun. Be like a little child. Experiment. Explore. Be adventuresome. Little kids play games, you know. We're supposed to be like little children of God. You can slow down and speed up. The main thing is don't have any tension. You know, you're not striving, you're not pushing. You're not pushing yourself. You're not working. You know, how many kids think, oh, I'm going to work at this? No, they're going to play at this. They're going to have fun playing. We're supposed to be like little kids, the little children of God. So have fun. Don't think I'm practicing. How many kids say that? I teach a lot of kids. Nobody says, oh, I'm practicing. That sounds so adult. Oh, how do you get good? Practice, practice, practice. No, play, play, play. That's how you get good. You play. Even Buddy Rich said, I don't practice. I never practice. I play, though, all the time, but I never practice. I used to think that was such a negative thing. But he's always playing. He's always playing around. He's always goofing around. So, you know, kids love these little games. So I got a little messy in there. So play little games, 3s and 2s. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. See, this is really great because it helps you with odd time. 5/4 time is usually 3 and 2s or 3s. You know, sometimes 2, 2 and 1, 1, 2 and 1, 1, 2 and 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 1. Anyway, that's called phrasing, internal phrasing. But that's odd time. Now, like 6. How about 6 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Groups of 3. Now I'm looking over here. Making sure I'm straight. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. I was starting to go like this. I was starting to pull in. So I'm looking to make sure this is straight. I can see that little pudge as the stick hits it. I'm also looking for this. My grip. If it's closed, it means I'm stressed. It should be open. I should be able to stick a stick in there. And my finger should be my fulcrum should be really close to being right there. The two of them right there, right? Maybe the finger a little bit more forward. Some people do that so that you really have this fulcrum, right? These two fingers are actually holding the stick, and this is kind of guiding it. But so it's kind of like 3 maybe. But you can mess around with that. I like to have a 2-finger fulcrum. That way I can really do this very easily, and I can use this finger to propulsion. For propulsion. That finger, pinky finger, second. Right? You can use all these different fingers. You can even play games with that. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. How about quads? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E and R. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2. And you can come up with different counting. Getting a little sloppy. It was starting to move around here. And remember, at this stage, I'm trying to get some control without holding on for dear life. I'm trying to make this feel just like this. So I want to make sure it moves a little bit, but it's not flopping all over the place, because I'm trying to create control. So this is just very subtle amount of pressure changes. It's very subtle. Drumming is very subtle. Let me pull back a little bit so you can see. Seven, 4 time. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 4, 4, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And I'm trying to keep, as the stick is hitting, I'm trying not to over squeeze here. But if I don't squeeze enough, it's going to move around. Right? So I don't want it to move around. So I might pull that finger out a little bit more of a guide. So it'll be something like that. You might have to experiment. How about a 5 and a 2? That's a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1. Right? So now a 5 and a 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. Now this is good, because when you hit hard, you're going to see if that, you don't want to over squeeze the stick. right? But you don't want to lose the stick either. Now this is really great for progressive rock and roll. Progressive music uses a lot of these mixtures of 3s and 4s and 2s and all kinds of stuff. How about you could do a 4 and a 2, right? And you would get a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Now, as you go faster, you're going to have to loosen up. You're going to have to, now you're going to have to start allowing a little bit of motion here, because if you try to keep it against the palm, you're sucking up too much of the energy, right? Because you're going faster, you're going to need to use that energy. You don't want to suck it all up, right? You don't want to hold it and suck all that bouncing energy. You want to use that bouncing energy, right? So I'm going to show you that. So you want to, there's a lot of rebound, right? There's a lot of rebound. You want to use that rebound energy. So you could practice just really just going like this. I'm not even closing my hands. That's called fishing. So I'm just letting the stick rebound, and I'm flicking, and I'm going to flick those fingers. See, I'm flicking those fingers, flicking my wrist, and I'm flicking those fingers in. You see that? It's like grabbing. See, I'm kind of grabbing the ball. It's kind of like I'm bouncing the ball. It's really like bouncing a ball, a basketball. And then kind of grabbing the ball. You know, these guys that have these really big hands, they can almost, their hands go almost all the way around the ball, you know. It's kind of like palming it. And it's kind of like, you know, anyway, you can mess around with that. So I'm kind of like flicking it, flicking, not going all the way into my palm. That's like clapping, right? But just flicking. See, I'm kind of flicking. Flick, flick, flick. And that's just the fingers helping. I'm kind of wobbling my hand too, right? You can even let it go up into here, but I wouldn't let it go up into there. You could let it go all the way up to this finger right here, but kind of let it stop there. So it kind of like acts as a stop, because if you get it up into here, you're really don't have a grip anymore. Whatever you do with your right hand, you want to make sure when you look at it, it feels and looks the same. See, I'm flicking, flick, flick, flick. See, I need to do this a lot more because I can feel it rubbing on this finger, which means it's not quite working. It's kind of moving. You want to have just enough pressure, but not too much pressure. Also, you have to kind of know where this thumb is, because if it's sliding off the stick, you're going to lose, right? You're losing your grip. You got to kind of keep that thumb not on the top of the stick, but sort of at a 45-degree angle so you can keep your wrist straight. See how the wrist is straight for me. It's straight, but look where the fingers are, kind of at a 45-degree angle, right? Not way over here, because that's not natural. You want to feel like you're bouncing a ball. See, I'm bouncing the ball. I'm just going dee 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 dee. You might want to practice bouncing a basketball, just like that, off the ground. Bounce, 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 bounce. See, I'm just moving my wrist. So you don't hold the ball down and pick a ball up. You just bounce it. Same thing. Now you put your stick in there and bounce the ball. Bounce, 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 bounce. bounces like this. Now I just put my stick around like that. See, I'm just bouncing the ball. Now I just stick a stick in there. Does that make sense? So you just do this for a while until you feel like you're bouncing. You might try 2 basketballs, and it's kind of coordinating to bounce 2 basketballs at the same time, boy, because they have little ridges on them. The balls can bounce different directions, maybe. So I'm trying to make it feel the same. Now I just play little games, little songs, right? I make little songs. Da 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 da, dun dun da 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 dun da dun da dun da dun da dun da dun 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 da 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 da. So there it is. We're at 21 minutes. Probably good enough. So now when you do your single strokes, they're going to sound, because they're much more even now. Because you learn how to make each hand sound the same, feel the same, look the same. In every way, I can feel the bounce. You can tell when they start doing that, they're not together. What you're doing is getting your nerves to fire, the nerves in your hands, your brain, to fire exactly the same on both sides of your brain, you know, because your right hand is making, your left brain is making your right hand move, your right brain is making your left hand move, and they're going like this in your body. And all those nerves have to fire exactly together. Isn't that amazing? And that takes a little practice. But it's playing. Don't practice. Be like a little child of God. You know, Jesus is always playing with little children. Everybody who's ever been in heaven, come back to life, said they see all these kids. And he loves playing with little children. He wants us to be, he calls us his children. He doesn't call us his adults. No matter how old we are, he calls us his little children. He says you must be like a little child to enter the kingdom of God, to even see it, to perceive it. If you want to look into the spiritual realm, you have to be like a little child. You have to be humble. You have to be teachable and open. You can't have all this arrogance and block that out. Oh, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. Well, there you go. Your doubt keeps it from happening. You close your mind off. You close the door. But if you have an open door, like kids have an open door, they're very open to their parents, very open to adults. I used to teach so many kids. 5,000 plus students since '98. So go to the drum tab. Well, it's going to get dark out here and I got to get my run in. So I hope you enjoyed this. Be like a little child. A lot of things will come to you. They will just come to you because we block things out with our adult mind. We close the door of possibility. You know, we got stinking thinking, as Zig Ziglar would say. We got stinking thinking from somewhere, and it blocks that, right? Communication from God. He communicates to the least before the greatest, because the greatest don't think. They need to hear from him. They don't think, they need his wisdom. They close that door. So the little children, they don't think about that stuff. They just play, and they're so open. So play, play, play. Be like a little child. So much will, see, they're not straining. Oh, I gotta do this. No, they're just having fun. That's all they're focused on, is having fun. And that's great. They learn along the way. They learn everything they need along the way. They really do. I was 8 years old learning how to play drums. It was a lot easier back then. I didn't think it was so much work, you know. A lot of teachers made it work for me. They made it work. They gave me all this work to do, right? And they say, you got to work at it, man. You got to work at it. Little kids don't think about this stuff. They don't. So stop trying to make them think about all this. We say, oh, you got to grow up. Well, you know, it's these adults that have all these problems. It's not the little kids. Well, grow up so you can have a lot of problems. Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, God bless you. Look forward to it. Please subscribe so you know the latest and greatest. These things just spontaneously happen. I didn't plan this video. So I look forward to your comments. We can all learn together that way. That's how we learn. It's a team effort. It's a together thing. No man is an island thing. Nobody's supposed to be wearing all the hats, you know. Nope. We're all in it together. So look forward to it. God bless you. Bye-bye.